everybody. Welcome to tonight's live. I hope you can appreciate my really wonderful beach decorations going on tonight. I have my sunglasses. I even wore a tank top. I never wear tank tops. But here we are. It's summertime. Hello. So summer, right? Thank you. Oh, you guys, decorating is not my forte. So thanks for humoring me. If you don't know me, I'm Lacie Rodriguez. I have worked with Uniwigs for a really long time. I've worn their toppers for a really long time, and I'm so excited to talk to you tonight about summer hair care tips, whether you can swim in a topper, updos in the summer to keep the heat off your neck. We have all kinds of tips coming up tonight, so I'm glad that you're on. Love to see you tonight. Thank you. Quiet Tofu, what is your real name? I don't believe that's your real one, so tell me what your real name is. Hi, Tracy. Tell me where you're tuning in from. I'm in Utah, and it's super muggy, which is very rare. It rained all day, like off and on yesterday, and so now we've got a little bit of humidity happening, which is also something we're going to talk about tonight, is humidity, because a lot of Uniwigs pieces have Burmese hair, which is amazing if your bio hair is wavy or you have like some natural frizz. However, if you don't love that texture, you can absolutely straighten and smooth it out. And so I'm going to show you how I do that tonight. Hello. Okay. Hi, Lacie. I'm in Florida. Oh, girl, then you need this. Are there any sales tonight? I don't know if we have any specific sales going on. Uniwigs can chime in and let us know, but I have a code as well that you can use. Like if there's not a code to go with, it's just Lacie 15, and that'll get you 15% off all the time. Okay, let's dive in. Let me set your expectations first, though. You are welcome to ask questions at any point, and I will try to get to as many as I possibly can. Hi from New Jersey. Elaine from Monterey. Like Monterey. Tell me Monterey where? Because all I can think of is Monterey, Mexico. You love the one I'm wearing? Thank you. This is the Courtney, the upgrade Courtney. I'm going to put these here so that we can keep the beach vibe going, but you can see the hair. Oh, summer sales going on. Perfect. Thanks for clarifying, Uniwigs. So you do have summer sale going on right now. Virginia, hot and muggy here. Melissa, oh, girl, it's probably always hot and muggy there in the summer. It's always hot here, but it's not normally muggy, but man, it is today. Yay! Yeah, so this is the upgrade Courtney topper. Iowa is very humid. Yeah, y'all, I had never experienced humidity until I went to Texas in August one time to Houston, and I was like, this is insane. How do people live with this? Ohio in the upper 90s. Crazy. Yeah, we had record highs just recently here in Utah, like last week. Or maybe it was this week. Maybe it was on Sunday, but insane. Like 109 up in Salt Lake, I think, which is unheard of. Hi. Thank you. So cute. You guys love it. If you came from my Instagram, you'll know I was really struggling with how to decorate for the beach today, but I figured it out. Dollar store had some fun stuff. Okay. Hi, Molly. Okay. What I was saying is you can ask a question at any time and I will do my best to answer. And also I'm just going to be kind of showcasing some different toppers. I have some ideas for updos in the summertime. And I even have this really cute visor hat that I got a couple years ago that I have worn to death in the summertime. Not a visor hat. I don't know what you call this, but it has a hole in the middle. So you can like do a really, this is too tight. My head's too big for this. Hold on, let me put on the right setting here. You can pull your hair up into like a top knot on top of your head with this hat at the beach. And it is my favorite to wear to the pool and the beach. So I'm going to show you how I do like a little top knot in here. Oh, so excited, Beth, that you caught me live. I love it. Okay. You ready for fall, Melissa? We're just here talking about summer. She's like, I'm ready for fall. I don't blame you. I'm going to take these off because it's giving cleavage. All right, let's talk about the topper I have on since I have it on. I have worn this one to death. I've had it for like 3 years at this point, I think. It is the upgrade Courtney topper, and it does have that Burmese texture. So you'll notice that it does have like just a little bit of fluff. like, again, it's kind of muggy here today. So the fluff kind of really starts popping. I feel like it's so natural looking because of the fluff. I like that it's not super sleek and straight because my bio hair isn't like that. My bio hair is like, just, I don't know if there's like middle-aged texture, if that's a thing, like pre-menopausal texture. I don't know, but it is like kind of wiry and brittle and a little wavy. This texture, which is nicer than my bio hair texture, but it's not perfect, which makes it blend really nicely. It looks more realistic, I think. It looks so real, Vivian, right? The color is moose brown. So it's kind of a neutral to warmer brown with these kind of warmer money pieces and highlights throughout. It is one of my top Uniwigs colors. I love this color. It blends with so many different variations of like brown and blonde. It just works really well. Oh, you're ready for fall. Oh, I mean football, not fall. That's funny. Love the idea, Stella. Good. Well, stay tuned. We'll get to that. Where in Utah am I? I am in Ephraim, Utah. So it's like central, rural, middle of nowhere, Utah. Okay, let me show you. This is a mono top. It's a 7 by 8 inch cap. So this one is one of my favorites. It's one of those like almost universal toppers. It works for so many different people. It has this kind of smaller mono top hand tied area, and then the rest is wefting. The density is pretty average, but some people find it a little too dense for them. So just keep that in mind. I'll show you another one that's a good alternative if you're really looking for something really low density. But it is kind of a really good 7 inches from side to side is like a solid, well, like in between a medium and a large, in my opinion. So it works for a lot of people. It doesn't have a ton of poof on the sides because of that smaller hand-tied area. I just love this topper. I had the old version. This is the new version. I've had them for years, and they're one of my favorites, and I recommend them to lots of people. What does upgrade Courtney mean? Everyone uses that term, but I don't see that on the Uniwig site. So they used to have the original Courtney was just called the Courtney topper, and it was a little bit different than this one. So when they upgraded it, the Courtney used to, you had to part it on one side. You couldn't change up the part really. This one you can. It has that hand-tied space in the middle, so you can part it anywhere within this space. I think that's one reason they call it the upgrade. It also does not have a clip in the front. It has them right here on the sides. It kind of straddles the center or wherever your part would be. And I find it really comfortable, really, like it gives me a good amount of coverage to where I can wear it longer than my bio hair, because that's a question I get a lot. You need to have enough density in the ends of your topper to be able to wear it longer than your bio hair. And this is a really great one for that. You don't have to wear it longer, but you can. You're welcome, Beth. I know that's confusing. You'd have to have known Uniwigs for a long time to understand the upgrade feature. It's usually just, they're always, one thing I'll tell you that I love about Uniwigs is that they're always listening to customers and people's feedback. So one of the complaints on the Courtney was like I wish you had, because they had like only a left side part for some of them. So it was like, oh, I don't part my hair on the left. So they decided to just like, they're always upgrading, making changes so that people are happy and it works for more people. This is the upgrade Courtney topper. And maybe on the website, it just says Courtney at this point. I don't know, because they got rid of the old Courtney. So maybe it just says Courtney. Yeah. And oh, you're literally shocked, Vivian. Good. Quiet Pasta. You'll have to tell me your real name. I love these fake names are so funny. I already have the Breeze, love it, but want another one, 18 inches. Ooh, yay. You love the Breeze. I love the Breeze too. Should we look at the Breeze? Oh, Michelle. Okay. I'm happy that you told me who you are. You want another one in 18 inches. I only have the 14 inch and I would love an 18 inch Breeze because it's a larger cap. So you're going to get enough coverage. You could absolutely add length with that. So 18 inches would be long. It would be so pretty. So this is the Courtney. Okay. And I forgot to mention that for the Courtney, this one, like I said, is the Burmese hair. They also offer it in the Chinese hair. And the difference is Burmese air dries more wavy, fluffy, a little bit more frizz, and Chinese hair dries a little straighter. So if you don't want to fight that texture, if you don't love that texture, you like a straighter texture, probably go with the Courtney would be my recommendation. Hello. No one at all can tell it's not my real hair. Girl, you are preaching to the choir. I am obsessed with toppers because of that. I still, to this day, even when I look back at my old pictures of some of the horrific toppers I wore or like the terrible blend jobs I did, I still always had compliments all the time. And I don't know, maybe people were lying to me, but I feel like they weren't. I really feel like we are way more critical of what our toppers look like than anybody else. Which one is good for the summer months or just lighter? I have the Aura. Oh, Renee, great question. Actually, let me show you the Breeze. And then there's another one that's just like this that I'll show you called the Airy Elegance. And that one is like one of my favorites for summer because it's so cool. Receding frontal wigs. They do have like a hairline topper or they do have wigs. Absolutely. Anything that has a lace front for you will recreate a hairline. So you can lower your hairline if your hairline's been receding. Hello. So yeah, I'll show you some lace fronts here in just a minute. This is the Breeze topper and it's the closed lace. So they have two different Breeze toppers. There's a lace front and a closed lace. And I'll show you the difference here in a minute. But this one is closed lace. This is meant to be blended with your bio hair here in the front. So you want to leave out a little bit of hair here to blend with it. But Michelle, this is one you said you love. Nobody can tell you're wearing it. You want an 18-inch one? I would love that too. So this one is darker than my bio hair. I want to point out, like I've got highlights in my bio hair and this one doesn't. So I'm going to show you how you can get away with a variety, like a little bit of a range when it comes to color. See how this is also Burmese hair, by the way. That's why it's kind of popping right now with the humidity. But it just looks like when my highlights kind of blend in the front hair, it just looks like I have highlights in my hair. And the rest of the hair doesn't, but it's totally normal to just kind of have highlights around your face, right? Anyway, this one is a larger cap. So it's 8.5 by 9 inches. This gives you plenty of coverage. It's still kind of a lower density overall, but it's a larger cap. So that's a really confusing point for a lot of people when you're like trying to judge density. Because Uniwigs list their densities in percentages. Just keep in mind that when you're thinking of how much hair is on it overall, you also have to take into account the cap size because it gets confusing. But a larger cap is going to have more hair on it than a smaller one, almost always. So looks so good. Thanks, Michelle. Lisa, could you show what you do with your bio hair when you wear a full wig? Thank you. Of course. Yes, I have the Amelie wig. I'll show you here in a little bit. Okay. Remind me if I forget, but I'm trying to file away questions so I can answer them in order. Shauna, hello. How are you? I'm so happy you're on here. Okay. So this is the Breeze. Let me show you the back. Some of these, hear me out. I have a lot of toppers and I leave them styled and kind of on display. I make content with them. I use them in my one-on-one consultations. So some of these probably need washed and restyled, and I just haven't done it yet because I go a really long time between washes, and you probably can too if you're careful, and it's nice. It's so convenient to have your hair styled all the time. Terry, thank you. This is the 14-inch, Renee. So it actually measures a little bit longer. If you were to measure from like the middle part to the tips, it actually measures about 16 inches. So keep that in mind, but it's listed as 14 inches on the website. I did not cut any length. I did have my stylist cut in some layers though. Okay. Let me show you the back. So if it needs a refresh in my style, just, use your imagination, but it gives you plenty of coverage, plenty of density through the ends if you wanted to add length with this one as well. And this color I didn't mention is truffle brown. It's kind of a darker medium brown. I would say it looks kind of warm on the website, but I always tell people I think it's more of a neutral brown. I really don't think it's as warm as it looks on the website. Donna, all of these toppers are going to vary in price. So Uniwigs has like a card on the screen right now. You can see the price for this one. However, it will vary a little bit depending on the color and the length that you choose. And every topper has its own price. So they're always kind of changing. You just kind of have to look it up and see what the current price is for your length and color. I wish they could provide the option of Chinese hair on the Breeze topper. Shouldn't have to ask for a special order and pay more. You know, I know this is a really hard thing to like understand, but I think that companies like Uniwigs, they have so many pieces and so many colors and so many lengths. There are a lot of combinations. And then if you add in hair textures, it just makes it really hard to provide everything all the time. Like, you have to know these are not cheap pieces to manufacture. So I know that it's really inconvenient and annoying. And I know, again, you can always be requesting things from them, and they're really good at listening to their customers. And I know that like now the Airy Elegance has the European hair texture. So they're always kind of changing things up. And I would just email them, be like, this is what I really want. It's a pain to do a special order, although it is really nice that they will do a special order if you want to. Michelle, my hair's a little longer than my topper, but it blends in pretty good. Oh, that's good. That's a good thing to point out too. If your bio hair is longer than your topper, this really is going to depend on how much bio hair you have versus how much hair the topper has. So if your bio hair is a little longer, as long as you have enough of it that it doesn't look really stringy hanging out the bottom of the topper, then you'll be fine. If like personally, there are very few toppers I can wear shorter than my bio hair because my bio hair is so stringy on the ends. I would never wear it like this if I didn't wear toppers. It would be cut much shorter. But yeah, some people can totally get away with that. You're welcome, Donna. Hopefully they'll add that soon. Okay, so this is the Breeze, but the closed lace version. So remember, there are two different versions. And the difference, I'll show you the lace front so you can see the difference. But the closed lace has kind of this little seam right here. It's a finished edge. Thank you, Angela. And that means it's closed lace and it blends with your hair here in the front, okay? A lace front has a raw lace edge. So let me show you what that looks like. This is what the raw lace edge looks like. And it comes longer, and then I trimmed it off, and I always do this kind of zigzag cut because I glue this down in front of my hairline. So it will recreate a hairline for you right here. And I can show you how I glue this on later if you want. But this is the lace front. So it's like a raw lace edge. That's the difference. I can't remember who was asking about frontal fibrosing alopecia where your hairline is receding. This is a really great option for that because it will recreate a hairline for you. You can lower it if you want. Michelle, I have the lace front because my hair is very sparse in the front. Oh, good to know. Do you glue it down or do you just use like the halo wire? How do you keep it flat? Because I'm going to show you the difference. Like you saw with the other one, it sat really flat and then I just pulled out my little hairs in the front. This one, I'm going to kind of pull all my hair back and then sit this right in front of that hairline. I have bangs cut into this one. It did not come like this. But see how that lace is just really flappy? The lace front does that. It's the lace is just so delicate and so fine. It's really meant to be glued down, or sometimes with the halo wire, you can get it to sit flat. You love the halo wire, Michelle. So she just uses the halo wire. I'll show you that in a minute too. And it'll help it to sit flat without glue. So just know that this can be glued down. If you use the halo wire, most people can get away with wearing it without glue. So I'll show you what that looks like. This is the Burmese hair texture. Again, same color, same length as the other one I just showed you. It's really just the cap construction that's different and the cut I have. My stylist cuts all my toppers. So I just find some cute inspo picture and she cuts them. That's why this one has some little wispy bangs I kind of love. And this is the air dried texture. So I put a little bit of curl cream in this, and this is the Burmese hair just air dried with curly products. And I love it. I think it's so cute. My hair doesn't like my hair's straight because I styled it today. But if I were to just kind of scrunch it myself, it might not be this curly, but it'd be close enough that it blends just fine. You cut side bangs into yours, Michelle? Oh, I bet it's so cute. I bet it's so cute. Let me show you the halo wire so you can see how that works. It's such an amazing invention. And Uniwigs includes these with all their toppers. Like, I think it's genius. They're removable, so you can try it out. If you don't love it, you don't have to wear it. And you don't have to wear it all the time. You can choose to wear it sometimes and maybe not others. But this is a halo wire. It comes in a little package with your topper. I think it comes with it. You might have to order it separately. I can't remember. But all the toppers they have these little loops sewn in. See these little ribbon loops? That's what these go into. So it's like a little bra strap. And you just loop it through here. And then you can adjust this when you get it so that it fits your head just right because you want it to fit really snug. And then once you adjust it, you don't have to keep readjusting it. Oh my gosh, I feel like I need my readers. Getting old sucks. Okay. It does come with the breeze. Okay, thank you. I thought so, but I wasn't sure. So it does come with it. Do all toppers feel hot? I've never purchased yet. Oh, Melissa. Yay. This is exciting for you. All toppers are going to be hotter than no topper. So I'll promise you that. Again, imagine if you had this much hair naturally, like it's clearly going to be warmer than if you didn't, right? The caps though, if you get the right cap, it will be significantly cooler than some of the others. So a lace one like this one or the closed lace. So the breeze is great for summer. It has more hair because it's a larger cap. So if you can do with a smaller cap, you will be cooler, but the lace is very breathable and see-through. Can you see like all the light that passes through there? That's a great sign that it's breathable. So I'm going to face this away from me. And then this is just going to go, oh wait, let me pull my hair up real quick. Where'd my clip go? To get the halo wire to sit at the nape of your neck, you're just going to like pull your hair up out of the way for a second. I face it away from me like this. And then this just kind of sits on my forehead. And then this goes around the nape of my neck, just like that. Then you can let your hair down and then flip this back on. And voila, you can just leave the front clips closed if you want and just use the back ones. This also is really helpful if your head is really sensitive. Some people are sensitive to the clips. Usually it's the front ones that are a little more, you can feel them a little more. So the halo wire makes it so you don't need them. But also look how much flatter that lace is sitting with just the halo wire. Now if I clip it too, because I can handle the clips fine. It sits much flatter than it would without it. I don't know. It's not sitting quite as flat on me as I would like it. I would still probably glue it. But another reason why I had the bangs cut into it, because bangs hide everything. So if you don't want to have to glue it and it is sitting just slightly floppy up here, the bangs hide it. So another pro of bangs. Hello, Jen. Hi, Morris Nats. My topper was breeze. I just purchased it. I washed it 3 times and the color all came out. Oh no, it's a totally different color now. Can we take it to a stylist to have it colored? Absolutely. I'm so sorry. Dang it. What color did you get? That's wild. But it does happen sometimes. Color just isn't as permanent as we'd hope. But yes, most stylists can recolor it, refresh the color. I've had lots of my toppers have the color refreshed over time. So absolutely it can, but also maybe look at what kind of shampoo you're using. Are you using a color safe one? Because that can also help cut back on how much it fades. But yeah, and maybe just talking to a stylist and see what they recommend as well would be a good idea. But yeah. What is the Burmese hair? I've only ever used human and synthetic. It is human hair. So Burmese hair is human hair. It's just a different texture. So specifically on Uniwigs' website, Burmese hair is this. So it air dries kind of wavy. It's got a fluffier texture. It has a little bit of frizz to it. So in the humidity, you'll see it kind of gets a little bit poofier, a little bit fluffier. I love it. If you like volume, you'll love it. If you like the hair sleeker and straighter, or you don't ever want to have to be like fighting this texture and like straightening it out, then the Chinese hair is going to be your better pick, and it air dries straight. Oh, thank you so much for offering to help them, Uniwigs, with their color situation. Beth, you are such a great teacher, Lacie. I've watched so much of your content on YouTube and your socials. You've given me the confidence to dive into alternative hair, and I can't thank you enough. Oh my gosh, Beth, thank you. Straight to my heart. Thank you so much. That means the world to me. I'm so happy that you're on here tonight. And giving me a reason to do this. Like, what a random job, but I love it. Absolutely love it. Hi, Stella. Okay, so that's the halo wire. Like I said, all their toppers you can use a halo wire with. They've now updated them. So I love having that as an option. And sometimes there's just like, if you have a day where your head's just like really sensitive, like, to be honest, I have cycles, like during my cycle, sometimes my head is just really sensitive, and I love having the halo wire as an option because then I don't have to worry about these clips if I don't want to. Okay, that was the breeze. Now, let me quickly show you the Airy Elegance, and then I'll get to the Aura Topper because I know somebody was asking about that. Espresso, Jen. Oh, that's the color that you had. Oh, that's interesting because that's a darker one. I wonder what happened. Hopefully Uniwigs can shed some light on that. Goodness sakes, all of these look the same. So give me a second to find the Airy Elegance. Okay, Airy Elegance is basically just the smaller version of the Breeze topper, okay? It's exactly the same, the density is the same, but the cap is a different size. And ignore the pink, that was me, sorry. I did this to my own topper. So this is the lace front. Remember, it's that raw lace front edge that will recreate a hairline for you. Oh, you're using Color Safe shampoo. That's good. That's good, Jen. Hopefully Uniwigs can reach out and help you figure that out because that's crazy. I'm late. Love it. What are you wearing? Oh, so the one I had on just now was the Breeze, but this one is the Airy Elegance I'm going to show you. Also been a follower in your socials and started ordering from Uniwigs after I found your info. Oh, yay. I'm so glad you guys are on here. It's so fun. So fun to have you. This is 6.5 by 7 inches. So this is more of like a medium-sized topper. This honestly is one of my very favorite updo toppers. So hopefully I'll have time later. I can show you how I do that top knot with that cute hat. I'm going to show you because this is my most favorite pool. In fact, I wore this to the pool and you can tell. You can tell. I actually got in the water with this one on. The reason this one works so well for an updo, now I would normally glue this down if I'm going to wear an updo. And when you do, and I could show you this later, it sits super flat, super secure. You don't have to rely on the clips, and that makes an updo incredibly comfortable. If you're only relying on the clips and you try to pull your hair up, you can do it, but some people are going to feel a lot more pulling on the clips because you're adding a lot of weight to the back of the hair, so it's going to pull more. And it's just not very comfortable for me. Some people do it just fine. I can't. So I prefer to get a lace front, glue it down, and then it's really secure with no pulling on the clips. Okay. So this is really my favorite pony topper, my most favorite. It's the Airy Elegance lace front. So I'll show you, hopefully, like I said, usually I end these with a little gluing tutorial and I glue this and then I'll show you like a cute top knot. And with the hat, it's adorable and it's my go-to summer style. Okay. Been doing that for years. Anyway, this is the lace front Airy Elegance. Love this one. They also have a closed lace Airy Elegance. So let me show you that one. And also the color Moose Brown. So both of my Airy Elegance ones are Moose Brown. This is the closed lace version of that. So remember the closed lace has like this seam and this blends with your bio hair. Sweetest story, there is a woman, I don't know if she's on here. Christy, if you're on here, I would love you to say hi. But I let her borrow this topper the other day because she had her brother's funeral and she came in for a consultation. She lives local here. And she wanted this topper to wear to her brother's funeral and, it didn't have time to get here. So I let her borrow it and it was the sweetest thing. She was like, I can't tell you how nice it was to just be present during the funeral and not worried about my hair. So sweetest thing. I'm really glad that worked out. Okay, so this is the closed lace topper. Remember, this one blends with your bio hair. No gluing. You can use the halo wire if you want, but this one is super cute. One of the reasons I forgot to mention with the other, this one you can also pull up. You just can't glue it, so it's not quite as comfortable, but the cap size is really just kind of perfect for an updo. It doesn't go down super far, so you don't get a ton of bulk on the sides. I'm going to show you that later, when we do the updo, I'll show you the difference between, you can wear the Breeze in an updo, but it has more bulk on the sides. And this one is just the right amount for like a really natural ponytail without bulk on the sides. So are you guys still commenting? I don't know if I'm losing comments or not. Maybe you just haven't commented. No, I don't see any new ones. So anyway, but this one is lovely. If you're looking for something for summer that's like lighter weight, breathable, and cooler, I'm telling you, this one is one of those almost universal toppers that works for most people. It has the most natural blend of really anything, I swear to you, every time. It looks amazing, right? Okay, I am really feeling like I can't see comments, dang it. Okay, well, there they are. It's working, Beth. Thank you. Okay. Thank you for testing. I get stressed out over tech things. Okay. So this one is an incredible summer topper. It's like probably one of my most worn during the summer, especially if I'm just wearing my hair down. Also, you could do like a lower style. Let me show you. You could do like a lower ponytail or like a lower bun. I know that Christy to the funeral, she said that she wore it up in a clip. You might need a bigger clip than this for this length, but she just like kind of wore it up in a clip like this. And that is a comfortable way to wear it without having to glue it down because you're keeping the weight a little lower than if you're doing like a high ponytail or something. Does that make sense? I love the Courtney in a low ponytail today. Oh, I wore my Courtney in a low ponytail today and always feel like everyone can notice I'm wearing a topper. I like this one though. So the Courtney does have a little bit more density. So you can, I bet it looked fine. I bet you were probably the only one worried about it. But this one has a little less hair. So it's just a little easier to pull up and the cap is a little bit smaller. Salt and pepper version, they don't have it in this one, but they do have some salt and pepper or like some great options, I think. Maybe they can put that on the screen here in a minute and you can see what they have. But also, if you wanted something that's like kind of a dimensional gray, sometimes you can get a custom color for that. Yes, you can add bangs to this one, absolutely. Really, any of these, you can add bangs to them. So 100%. You're still here. Thanks for letting me know. This one is called the Airy Elegance. It's on the screen. They have both the closed lace and the lace front. The best low density topper. So Jerry, again, with density, it can get complicated because if you're looking at the percentage, you also need to take into account how big the cap is. This one is one of my favorite low density ones that they have. The Aura is also considered low density, but it's a bigger cap. So you're going to have more hair on it. Bear, is that how you say it? Airy and closed lace is my daily girl. She's amazing. She is. This one is a workhorse for sure. And just like the fluffy Burmese texture, I love that it gives you like the illusion of more hair than it actually is, which to me is a good thing because it's lighter and cooler. It doesn't look crazy, but the texture still makes it look full. And like, I'm still wearing it longer than my bio hair and you can't really even tell, you know, do ASMR. I don't know how to do ASMR. I'm sorry. Not my forte. Okay. I talked about, I would show you the Aura topper. Should we do that one next? Hi, Lynn. I have the Airy closed lace in 12 inches, which is close to my bio hair length. Thinking of a second, but at 14 inches. Thoughts? I love the idea of trying a 14 inch. Mine is 16 inches, which actually measures about 18 inches. So the 14 would measure probably 16. Actually, do they even have 14 inches in the Airy Elegance? I don't remember, but I definitely think that you can get away with like a couple inches of difference. As long as like I said, because of the fluffier texture, it can do it. If you're wearing it super sleek and straight, you might be able to see more of your bio hair, but if it has a little bit of texture in the ends, you should be good. Just don't put, I wouldn't put many layers in it because that will take some of the bulk off the bottom, off the length. Is the area enough hair for a 3+ inch difference bio hair and topper? Yeah, so sorry, Beth. I know that's like the same kind of question. I just would be, it's hard to say. I would say try it. And like, honestly, there are probably times when it kind of, my hair is moving and you can kind of see my bio hair through the topper. I really don't care. I don't think that it matters that much. Honestly, I don't think anybody notices. But if you're really a stickler about it, I would maybe go with the breeze instead. It's a little easier to add length with the breeze. So just depends on how much you're worried about it. What are your thoughts about conditioning with fabric softener? Have you tried this? Would you recommend? I've only ever heard people do that with synthetic toppers, and all of these ones that I have are all human hair. So I wouldn't do that on human hair, no. But I have not tried it on synthetic toppers myself. I'm trying to go from chin length to shoulder length, and man, it's so hard to blend right now. Beth, yes, I've been there. It's a really awkward stage. My very first topper, because my hair was always really short. I always wore it like chin length. And so my very first topper was short. And then I was like, oh, this is amazing. I want to grow my hair out. And then, like I said, when my hair was growing out, through the bottom. It was like really scraggly and stringy, and it looked so bad. And I was like, but I'm not ready to buy a topper yet until I'm closer to like my shoulder length is where I wanted to be. So what I did in the meantime is I wore a halo extension, which I don't always recommend. It was for a very short time. It was only for a few months. But I just kind of wore a halo extension with the topper, and that kind of helped camouflage the difference in length until my hair grew out a little bit, and then I could get a longer topper. So I don't know if that's something you want to try, but I definitely did that. Thank you for the compliment. Yeah, I'm sorry, I don't have a salt and pepper version, but we'll see if Uniwigs can share one on the screen here in a minute. I have red and brown hair. My hair is thinning. Donna, which one can I wear? There's so many variables. So I'm going to show you this aura topper here in just a second, but I think just take into account your hair loss pattern. Mine is really through the top and kind of like the back. You can kind of see through here. So I try to stay with a bigger than like a 6 by 7 inch base is kind of my sweet spot. And then I can go larger than that, but I don't normally go smaller than that. It's rare that I do. And that's just out of comfort and protecting my bio hair. If you go too small and your hair is really thin through here and that's where you're clipping into, that's where you're going to run the risk of traction alopecia or like, causing damage to your bio hair. And we don't want that. So just make sure you're going large enough. But also as a first topper, most people don't want something that's really heavy or has a lot of hair on it. So I would just err on the side of large enough, but not too large for your first topper. And just find a color that you like, that you feel like is close enough. Okay. I would like to try, but it feels so scary. I know it feels so scary. They have a really forgiving return policy. So keep that in mind. There's usually a restock fee, but I just tell people, do your homework, figure out like what it is that you need. I offer tons of free education on my channels, and Uniwigs has tons of education here too. So just do your homework to figure out kind of what kind of topper you need for your lifestyle, your preferences, your hair loss pattern. The sizing and the cap construction are really two of the most important decisions, and color a lot of times can be tweaked. Okay. Okay, so this is the Aura topper. It is a skin top, which is sort of like, it's like a machine made silk top. So this one, there are no visible knots whatsoever. You get this really natural, looks like real scalp through here, which is kind of this one's crowning glory. The cap is a little thicker and it's not as breathable, right? Like you can't see any light through this, so it's not going to be as breathable, but it's still a beautiful topper. I have a friend, I've said this a million times. This one has a comb here in the front, so I'm just going to wiggle this in. But this is her most favorite topper. She's ordered like 6 of them because she's like, if they ever discontinue that topper, I'm going to be so mad. And she loves this one in a ponytail. So it's not as comfortable for me in a ponytail, but she does it all the time. She's a server. It's one of her jobs. And she wears it to the restaurant in a ponytail and loves it. So this one is super long. This one is 18 inches, but like I said, it measures more like 20. So this is, ironically enough, actually a lower density topper. It's only 110%, but the cap is 7.5 by 7.5. So it still has a little bit more hair than you might expect at that low of a density. Do they have any pieces that only go on the part line? That's a good question. I mean, they do have like a smaller one, if that's what you're meaning. They have like the Velora, I think is what it's called. I think that's the smallest one they have. Do you have any toppers that are longer? Yeah, Lynn, this is the longest one I have from Uniwigs. So I know they do tons of custom orders if you want something longer, but you can't find it. A lot of times they'll do a special order for you. It just takes a while. There's a wait period for that, but they're really good about doing custom orders. So I had curtain bangs cut into this one. I have them cut into pretty much all of my toppers. They now come with face framing layers, most of the Uniwigs toppers, which is really nice because they used to all be like the same length and the front was really long and super like heavy looking. So I tell everybody that face framing layers will make a huge difference in how natural your topper looks and feels. If you don't have that, it's going to feel really front heavy and just look kind of wiggy. So I love having some layers, especially in the front. But since this one is so much longer than my bio hair and the density is pretty low, I kept the rest of the layering to a minimum so that I have enough coverage in the bottom that my hair doesn't peek out, because it's a huge difference in length. You see that? Okay. So let me show you the back of this one. This one also is truffle brown. Remember I mentioned it's kind of like a neutral medium brown, a little bit darker medium, but I love this color. It's very rich, very pretty. So let me show you, if you were to put this in a ponytail, it's a decent size and density that it looks good. Like I said, my friend wears this in a ponytail all the time. Another trick is to put a little bit of Velcro, the hook side on the inside of the topper, and that also kind of helps with security if you feel like it's moving too much. So anyway, this one's also beautiful, but it is going to be a little warmer in the summertime because it doesn't have as much, it doesn't have like the breathable lace or monotop. Any questions about the aura before I take it off? We're kind of flying through all these. And then we can do some styling. But I like kind of showcasing all the different pieces so you get a good feel for what's available and what might work for you. Oh, also, one thing about this one is it is very flat at the root. It doesn't have any return hairs. So this does have that Burmese texture. So it is still a little fluffy, but it doesn't have any shorter hairs throughout. Let me see if I can try to show you like return hairs. See, this one has like some shorter hairs on the top. Lace and monotops do have that. There we go. Can you see the shorter hair? There we go. See those? Those are called return hairs, and that gives you a little bit of volume and fluff on the top. This one does not have any of those. So unless you cut it, everything is the same length. And if you like a sleeker look, this one works really well for that. I know you don't often wear blonde, but do you have any you can show for color? Sure, Beth, I have a Courtney in a blonde. You want me to show you that one right now? It's the only one I have. Oh, wait, let me show you one more aura in a different color that's unique to the aura, I think, and then I'll show you the Courtney. You guys, my brother has long hair, but it's also crappy like mine. And I'm always like, why do you let your hair grow out long? Why don't you just cut it? But I tried to talk him into getting a topper, and we actually got this one for him, but he's like, I don't ever go anywhere. But he was totally down with the idea of wearing it. Hold on, let me brush this. So this one is still fresh out of the box. I've never styled or like washed or styled it, but this is also the Aura topper. Same exact cap construction, but this is the light mousse brown. So it's got a little bit more blonde in it, kind of chunkier highlights. This one has a left part, but it can be changed. You just have to wet the roots and kind of blow dry that new part into place, but it can be changed. My hair hates to part on the left. I have a major cowlick that just won't. But anyway, this is a little bit shorter length. I think this one is the 14 inch, if I'm not wrong. Maybe it's a 16 inch, I'm not sure. I actually don't have the amber topper, but good question. That one does have return hairs, I believe. I think it's more of a French silk. So I don't have the amber though, but that's a great one. I've recommended that to a lot of people. These are the face framing layers I was talking about that come already cut into it. So this is also Burmese texture, but this is what it looks like out of the box. So keep that in mind. This feels a little misleading because you can straighten it and smooth it out like this, but when you wash it, it will get fluffy and wavy, more like this, okay? So that's confusing. Sometimes people expect the fluffier, wavier texture and they open it and they're like, wait, what? Which ones are best for fine curly hair? Definitely the Burmese. I would get the Burmese hair. So that would be like the Aura. Basically all the ones I've showed you like so far have been Burmese texture. And I think you'll love that. If your hair is a little curly or wavy, Burmese hair works great for that. It's not super curly, but it does have quite a bit of wave and you can coax a little bit more out with product and things, but yeah, that's a great one. Okay. Oh, the blonde. This is the Courtney, and this is Vanilla Butter Blonde, and this one is super long. My sister wanted this topper so bad. She has a Courtney, but it's a little bit shorter because her hair is like nowhere near this length, but this is the length that she really wanted. Literally every woman in my family wears a topper, and someday I think my brother will. I used your technique for blow drying and styling my breeze, and it came out really sleek looking. Oh, that's so good to hear, Michelle. I'm so glad. Yeah, you got to have the right product and tools and technique. And then I promise you, it's not as crazy as it seems. Do you have any of the new European hair toppers? Would love to see the colors compared to the mousse brown. I have all I have is the Vienne. I don't have the European ones yet. I'm so sorry. But I think the colors are going to be pretty much the same. It's just the texture that's different. You love the blonde, Stella? Isn't this fun? This is like a really pretty dimensional, cool tone blonde. It's a little neutral. It's got some neutrals in there too, but it's got like kind of this nice little root that's not crazy dark. And I don't know what this length is. Let's see. What does it say on the tag? 20? So 20 inches, I think. It's a long one, but yeah, it's so pretty. Again, face framing layers that come already cut. I still have my stylist cut my layers, and I usually add them a little bit, like add more hair to the layers, cut more layers in. But yeah, this one's really long, really pretty. So this is that upgrade Courtney. And this is also the Burmese texture. I'm pretty sure it's just, again, this is how it came. I've never washed or styled this one. I mostly just have it for the color example. Yes, I'll show you the Vienne here in just a second. It's beautiful. I love it too. Can you describe the root? Is it ashy? Let me try to describe the root. I am not the best, honestly. I'm so much better than I used to be, but I kind of still struggle to tell like temperature in hair color. So I'm going to say, yeah, I think this is an ashy root. Ashy to neutral. No, it's pretty ashy. It's kind of like a ashy light brown. That's what I would call it. So yeah, beautiful color. This is one of their most popular blonde colors. Hi, Angel. I don't have anything in the espresso color. I'm sorry. It's like a shade darker than the truffle brown. So this is the truffle brown. It's going to be a little darker than that. You're welcome, Beth. Okay, should I show you the Vienne now? Sorry, I'm dropping toppers over here. Let me grab the Vienne topper. This one is the Chinese hair texture. So that's the straighter one. And this is a specific color that they only offer in the Vienne, and the other origin one, I can't remember. It's a wig. I can't remember the name of it. I'm terrible with names. Prices vary a lot. So it really depends on the piece, the length, and the color. But most of them are going to be under $1,000, which I feel like is pretty much a steal for toppers these days. Any caramel colors? I would consider this one kind of caramely. Well, I don't know. Again, temperature, I'm not very good at this. But I would say this looks just neutral to me. It's a little ashier, but it's not super ashy. It's a good mix. So this is try to remember the name of this color. Champagne Glow. Is that what it's called? Thank you for putting this on the screen. It's like champagne brown. It's something like that. I know it has champagne in it and it's brown. But this one is a silk top. So it's a lot like the Aura topper, but this is more of like a luxury, I don't know how to put it. The Aura topper is more budget. This one is a little bit higher end because it's not machine made. It's a regular silk top. Does not have a clip or a comb in the front, but it sits really flat. Again, it's not breathable, so it might not be the best option in the summer, but it's still not bad. It's 8.5 or 8.25 by 8.5 inches. So 8.5 or 8.25 side to side. I don't have any ginger colored ones, but they can usually do a custom order for ginger. Oh, somebody gave me, oh, thank you, Uniwigs. Champagne Glow Brown. Yeah, isn't that what I said? Champagne Glow Brown. That's the name of this color. It is a gorgeous color. It is. And it's a really good base too, because it's very dimensional. So if you need something darker, I would just start with this because I think this is their darker one. And just have your stylist add some low lights to it to darken it up. But it is really beautiful. Again, it's got that like invisible knots. So the scalp is just fabric, but it looks like scalp. It's pretty wild. And this one is the Chinese hair texture, I believe. So it air dries straighter. It doesn't get as tangled as the Burmese. It's very sleek. No return hairs. So it's sleeker at the root, kind of hugs your head. Very, very, very pretty. Luxe, a luxe kind of texture. Do you think the Champagne Glow is warmer than the ash brown? You mean like the dusty ash brown? Yes. Or slightly. Uniwigs, maybe you want to chime in. I don't want to tell people wrong. The dusty ash brown is super ashy, like almost gray. It's so ashy. This one, I feel like the blonde isn't quite as white. It's a little bit more neutrally. It doesn't really seem warm to me, but it's not as ashy as the dusty ash brown. You love this color, Michelle? Me too. These are, so far I've shown only toppers and they're all available on Uniwigs' website. So right now they're putting up cards on the screen for all the ones I'm showing. So you can click there and go check them out. Prices will vary a lot. So you'll just want to make sure you're clicking on the color and length that you want. You're welcome. Okay, so let me show you the back. This one, again, is much longer than my bio hair, but the density in the ends really covers that up because the density doesn't taper because it doesn't have return hairs. Remember how I said everything is the same length root to tip unless you cut it? That's why this one is great to add length because there's quite a bit of density in the ends. So it keeps them really full and you don't really see your bio hair peeking through. Okay. All right. Another beautiful one. Again, I had curtain bangs cut into it. So otherwise, that's one of the things about silk tops is they're kind of notorious for like kind of falling in your face. Getting those face framing layers or the curtain bangs are just magic to help keep it out of your face. So my number one trick with toppers. The thing is, and I explain this to everybody, but like the way our hair grows naturally, our hairline is usually the thinnest part of our hair, even if you have good hair. It's just like they're usually finer, like baby hairs growing in here. They are more prone to breakage. So you get shorter ones. They just don't grow super long normally. But a topper has to have the hair sewn on all the way around the rim to hide it. And so when you get a topper that doesn't have any face framing layers, it'll just feel really heavy and like unnatural. And I think that that's one of the reasons that they look wiggy. And so a lot of people will try to pull them back and sit them further behind their hairline. And I see this all the time. In fact, I hear this like advice all over the internet. And I'm always just like, ugh, because this looks like garbage on me. Like I cannot do that. I don't have enough hair. Like this will never blend, right? But you'll hear the rule of like setting it 2 fingers behind. This can work for some people and certain toppers look better when you do that than this one. But I'm a big fan of sitting my topper right at my hairline. So I still leave a little bit of my own hair out, but that way you don't see any of my part line because my part line is never going to look like this part line. And it's going to be really hard to blend if I sit it back like that. And so the hair's going to fall on my face because it's so heavy in the front. So that's why I always get face framing layers and curtain bangs. Just lightening it up through the front is going to make it look so much more natural. Explain what are return hairs? Great question. So let me find one so I can show you a good example. When they tie the hair on, so these are sewn on by hand. Like this is a literal artisan who does this. Like can you imagine sewing on, tying on one hair at a time in this hand-tied area? It's insane. They use a little tiny hook. So when they tie the hair onto lace, this mesh or a monotop, these are kind of like mesh materials. and they tie it on. And so when they tie the knot, the hair strand, you have like the long end of the knot, and then you have the shorter end. And they just reincorporate the short end of that knot back into the hair. And that's what a return hair is. So it's only in the hand tied area. You don't normally have return hairs where the wefting is, because this is sewn on by a machine. I mean, you do have return hairs, but they're like these little itty bitty things, and they're underneath, so you don't see them. But on the top, you're going to see some return hairs. You see these little shorties kind of popping out. A lot of times people think this is damage. They'll get their topper and they're like, oh my gosh, there's all these short hairs. Like, it looks like it's been damaged. It's not. It's just the way they're made. There's nowhere to put those return hairs on this kind of a topper. And so they just incorporate them back in. Again, I feel like it looks more natural that way, honestly, because that's the way our natural hair grows. Our hair is always in different growth phases. So you'll have shorter ones, longer ones. You'll have like a variation in length. And I think that looks much more natural, to be honest. But some people hate return hairs. They hate fighting with them. And if that's the case, a silk top is going to make you really happy, because the return hairs on these, they end up cutting them off and gluing them in between layers of fabric. So these ones don't have any return hairs. See that? There's nothing falling out because they're all the same length. And that's why this looks sleeker and it sits flatter. You don't get any like flyaways. Does that make sense? I hope that helped. Ms. Andy. Can you please show European hair wigs? Okay, I don't have any European hair wigs, but I do have one wig I promised I would show. So let me pull that one out. I have the Amelie. Oh, good question. Of the Burmese toppers, which one do you think lays flattest on the head? And I don't know if you mean like the cap is sitting flat on your head, or if you mean the roots are sitting flatter, so you don't have any like volume or poof up here. If you mean the roots, the Aura topper is going to be the flattest. As far as the cap sitting flush against your head, to me, they all sit pretty flat. The Aura topper is a little bit heavier, so it might sit a little flatter. Sometimes it's just the shape of your head will determine how flat a topper sits. If your head is a little bit more egg-shaped, sometimes you can struggle to get them to stay as flat. But honestly, I don't feel like I have a problem really with any of them. You're so welcome, Stella. This one was the VN topper. It's a silk top. All right, let me show you a wig, because I've been promising that for a little bit now. With a wig, you're going to want to pull your hair up, okay? And I like to use these little barrettes. I've tried a lot of different ways to do this. And one of the reasons I prefer toppers most of the time is because I have a very flat head, like not enough tummy time as a baby. So I don't have much of an occipital bone right here. Normally you have kind of like a ledge. If my head was round, I'd have kind of a ledge here, and you can kind of tuck the nape of the neck of the wig, the nape of the wig right there at the nape of your neck. You can kind of tuck it under that little ledge. I don't have that. And so wigs tend to ride up on me. And I've tried a million ways to secure them. Some wigs fit me better than others, but I just tend to struggle with this. So my favorite way to tuck my hair up and under is with these. It keeps the hair flat so I don't have like a weird bump. But so that's what I've been doing lately to tie my hair up. Where did my wig go? Right. Oh, sorry. They all look the same. They're like all browns almost. So, oh no, please tell me it's here. Did I not bring it? It might be in the other room, you guys. Dang it. I was sure I had everything with me tonight. Oh, I do. Oh, okay, this is it. Okay, this is the Amelie wig, and this is in the color Moose Brown. This is the cutest little bob. I don't know how long it is. I think it's the 12-inch, but it's so cute. So obviously a full wig is going to go under the nape of your neck. You can tighten it. It's got these little adjusters at the nape. I need to tighten this one. You want it to fit the circumference of your head. So and they'll have, I'm sure Uniwigs has like a size chart and instructions on how to measure, but that's really the difference between a wig and a topper. A wig, you really need it to fit well. A topper, you can get away with a range of sizes normally. So this is a monotop wig with a lace front, okay? The lace front, remember, is going to recreate a hairline for you. So I'm just gonna kind of dive into it, pull it taut to the base of my skull. And then you don't want to pull on the lace because it is very fragile. So they have these little ear tabs, and that's usually where I try to adjust from. And you want it sitting in front of your natural hair so that you don't have any of that poking out, because it's recreating a hairline for you. So this one is fully hand tied, which gives it a lot of volume. It's got quite a bit of body out here on the sides, but it's so lightweight. And if you want something that's a little bit cooler, a little bit more breathable, the fully hand-tied options are really nice. Okay. Are all silk toppers with no return hairs? No. I know this gets really confusing. There are a few different kinds of silk toppers. Like the amber silk topper, I call that like a French silk, and that one does have return hairs. So it just depends on the piece, but most silk toppers do not, okay? If they do have return hairs, they're normally called a French silk. I'm in the cap so it doesn't poof. Oh, okay. So yeah, you were asking about which ones sit flatter. Again, when you say poof, do you mean the hair poofs or that the cap is like sitting, like hovering over your head? Because that's actually two different things. And I know that that's really confusing. So I'm sorry. I'm really trying to answer your question accurately. Debbie, I don't have any hair at the very top of my head. So what is the best topper for me? What do you mean at the very top of your head? Do you mean like the crown, like up here? If you don't have anything up here, you'll need something to clip into. So if you don't have anything up here, then I would say either you're going to want like a lace front that you can glue down, or a wig might just be more comfortable and easier for you. What's the best reasonably priced topper? That is a loaded question. I'll tell you, the number one question I get on every social media platform I have and every video and everything is, what is your favorite topper, or what is the best topper? I promise you there is no answer to that question. I do not have a number one favorite. I never have, because it depends on everything. It depends on, like, especially for somebody else, like what might be the best fit for me might not be the best fit for you. There are so many variables, and I just really encourage people to do their homework and learn about what you need for you. And then you can work from there to find what's the most reasonably priced topper for you. Uniwigs has very reasonably priced toppers. I used to be in the manufacturing business of toppers, and I'm telling you, Uniwig has bottom dollar prices for the quality. I promise you. I would be saying that even if this was not on their website, okay? They're factory prices, basically. You can't get better for the quality. So I 100% would trust something on the Uniwigs website, but really do your homework. And hopefully this live is helping you understand, like, which of these things is more important to you. There are a lot of just personal preferences that go into topper, choosing a topper. And if you don't choose the right one, you're probably going to be disappointed. So hopefully I'm making sense, and this is helping you narrow down what will work best for you. Okay. I'm a beginner. Can you show me the most realistic looking wigs in topper and black hair? So I don't have a black one, but most of these pieces also are offered in the color black. So again, the most realistic looking, the best price, like, you guys, these are all very relative terms. So I'm doing my best to walk you through what is special about each piece, and hopefully that will help you decide what's going to be the best piece for you. Because I can't answer that question. I wish I could. It would make my life so much easier, but I can't. I want to know the difference between mono silk, open, and closed lace. That's a great question. We went over all of that in the beginning, so I promise I'll come back to that. I just want to make sure I get all the questions answered. And if I'm not able to come back to that, make sure you watch the replay of this, because I go through all of that in the beginning when I'm showing different pieces. So I hope that that will be helpful for you. Debbie, thank you. I had breast cancer 20 years ago and I have no hair at the top. So I was really concerned about using the clips for toppers. You're so welcome, Debbie. Yes, I think that if you don't have enough hair to clip into, you're going to be uncomfortable. So I would definitely just go to a wig if that's the case. If you have hair lower down on your head that you could clip into, maybe go with a large cap. But definitely you're going to need something to clip into that's not your finest, thinnest areas. That makes sense? Do you have a truffle brown? My topper's coming on Monday. Yay! Which one did you get? I do have quite a few in truffle brown. So this is truffle brown. This is mousse brown. This is truffle brown in my hand, if you want to compare them. It's more of a solid color. So it's a rich color, but it doesn't have any highlights or anything. But I always call this kind of like a dark medium brown, and it's pretty neutral toned in my opinion. It looks warmer on the website than I think it is, but over time it will oxidize and get warmer. They kind of all do over time as the color kind of fades. Okay, so this is the wig. I'm going to show you the back because it has just the cutest little bob. Isn't that cute? And this is nice because it's shorter than my bio hair. And I would not be able to do this probably with a topper. Not normally. So it's nice if you want to go shorter, even sometimes a wig is fun. Okay. We're doing great on time, actually. So that's the Amelie wig. That's the only Uniwigs wig I have, but it's a great one. And like I said, it's fully hand tied. So I want to show you what that looks like. Remember what the wefting looked like? I've been showing you that on the toppers. This is like a mesh, and you can see the hair is hand tied into it. So it makes it fuller. It has more body, more volume, but it also just keeps it a little cooler because now instead of that sewn on fabric, this one, there you go. You can kind of see has light passes through it. So it's a little more breathable. And they call this a medical wig also because it's not as scratchy, I think, as the wefting can feel. It's very soft and comfy. All right. Should we do some styling? I feel like I've walked you through. Oh wait, there's probably a few more I haven't done yet. We've been talking about silk tops. Do you want me to show you the Savannah? Let me pull out the Savannah. This is large silk top. Again, this is the Burmese hair. So this one I have very layered because it is a large, this is a very large, it's like a 9x9 cap. And this is a silk top, so no return hairs, but it is quite a bit of hair, okay? And I had a lot of layers added to it because there was so much hair on it, I could, and I love the layered look. This is air dried, so that's the Burmese texture. Okay, good. I'm glad you guys want to see this one. So this is, again, toppers go more by your needs than an actual head measurement. But if you have a very narrow face or very low forehead, sometimes a really large cap, like a 9-inch, can kind of overtake your face. So just keep that in mind. 7 or 8 inches is usually safer. But this is a beautiful topper with that Burmese hair. I love the combs are so nice because I just kind of like wiggle it in here like that. And then I can clip it in and I don't have to use any clips here in the front. If you know me, you know I avoid clips in the front at all costs. I've had a negative experience with a topper before from clipping in the front. So I just don't do that. I usually will just cut them out. I kind of like styled these curtain bangs, but the rest of this is just air dried. Anyway, this is a beachy look. Are you feeling beach in this right now? I feel like this would be a fun one to wear to the beach. Oh my gosh, I love your topper, or it's a wig. This is a topper. It's a big topper, but it's a topper. Again, the silk top, you get that nice scalp, but this one is pretty thick. The cap is, so it's going to be warmer. It might not be ideal at the beach because of that, but it looks great, right, Michelle? Can you repeat the name, color, size, and density? Sure. So this is the Savannah topper. The card is on the screen right now. Oh, do you mean the previous one? Sorry. Yeah, the previous one is the Amelie wig. And that's the bob I had on, and this is the color Moose Brown. Okay. Density, I can't remember the exact density of this one, but it'll be listed on the listing on the website. Amelie, Amelie. And this is the Savannah topper in the color Moose Brown also. But yeah, I love this one if I'm wanting like a lot of body. And again, it's longer than my bio hair, so you can easily add length. This is the 16-inch, I think, but it actually sits closer to 18. So if you like this kind of wavy, a little bit messier texture, I really think you'll love the Burmese hair. It's beautiful, right? Very natural. Yeah, it's fine. You do want to be careful. I have had the issue of kind of getting a cone head with this one sometimes, or just any silk toppers, but I've learned that sometimes that happens because I try to get volume through here and it actually ends up looking like a cone shape. So what I've learned is you want to extend the part line back all the way to like the crown. And honestly, these look better if you just kind of leave the roots a little flatter and then just kind of work on the volume on the sides. Does that make sense? That's kind of a weird thing about silk tops that I've learned. But yeah, I love this one. Also, you can do really wonderful like half updos with this one because it has so much hair. You can get away with like, I don't know, should we do like a cute half updo with this one? I love if it matches your hair color well, you can totally get away with that. Oh, thank you for posting that, Uniwigs. They posted the Amelie wig for who was asking about it. Okay, let's do like a half updo. So I'm going to teach you a little trick that I have, again, come across. Number one, if I'm going to do an updo, especially a half updo or something that's a little bit more involved, I love to do it off my head. I style most of my toppers off my head and then I clip them in. And then I can kind of incorporate my own hair into the style. But I think this is like one of my favorite discoveries is doing a half updo off my head. So I'm going to take this and put it on a cork head. Okay. And I'm actually going to pin it because I don't want it to move while I'm styling this. But I'm going to show you, I call this a hollow section because one of the problems with doing a half updo, especially with a topper, is if you're not careful, you will expose the wefting underneath because you really can't part it where this is wefting, where it's like sewn on in strips. If you try to part it here, the hair is not going to go in the right direction. It will where it's hand tied, but this hair lays really flat to your head. On purpose, right? But if you're going to do a half updo, you have to be careful because if you're not careful, you'll expose that wefting and you'll be able to see it. So what I have kind of discovered is I call this a hollow section. So when you're doing a half updo, I take the front. Let me see. I don't know if you can see this very well. Hold up. I want you to be able to see it. There we go. Okay. I'm wearing my Uniwigs piece now, and I absolutely love her so much. She's so much more comfortable than my luxury wigs. Absolutely stunned at how light she is. Oh my gosh, I love hearing that. What piece are you wearing? That's exciting to hear. All looks so natural and pretty on you. Oh, well, thank you. Thank you. Okay, so what I'm gonna show you. If you just do like a regular half updo, like if it was your own hair, you're going to remember what I was saying is expose the wefts on the side. It's just not gonna lay as natural. The other thing you wanna be careful of is it's easy to take too much hair. Now this one has a lot of hair, so you can probably get away with it. But if you take too much hair into the half updo, you're gonna have not enough on the bottom. Oh my gosh, this thing is tangly right now. You're not going to have enough on the bottom to give you enough coverage to hide your bio hair. See that? Your bio hair will probably start peeking through here, and like we don't want that. So I call this a hollow section. This is what I do. I take a piece from either side, like kind of just like a chunk like this. And then you can take a very tiny section from the middle so that, let me see if I can show you this up close. So you're taking a lot more from the sides, the front sides, and then just like a little sliver of a section on top. So it looks like it looks like you're taking just like the whole top section, but in reality, you're leaving a ton of hair in the back so that you keep the coverage in the back. Does that make sense? Instead of grabbing all of this into the half updo like you would with your bio hair, I just leave most of that down. And I just have a little sliver here in the middle so that it looks like one cohesive section. See that? But it's actually not very much hair. I hope that is making sense. Okay, so I love this for half updos, and you can kind of even it out however you want, but I like to keep the density in the middle so you get enough coverage in the back. Okay, now I'm gonna kind of brush. The other key to updos with toppers is messier is better, okay? Loose, messy updos look a million times better than trying to really nail like a really sleek ponytail or something. It's just a lot harder to do with a topper, so being messy is your friend. I'm going to grab a hair tie. I could also do like a fun clip, but I don't think I have very many clips in here. So I'm just gonna tie this off. I'll show you how I'm gonna incorporate my own hair in a minute, okay? Now you wanna kind of, again, I like to like pull this out a little bit so it's not sitting too flat. And on the sides here, okay, see how fake that looks right now? It's just like really straight, and you can kind of see these little tiny return hairs coming out of the wefting. Just loosen it. Just loosen it so that there's plenty of slack on the sides there. Okay? Now you can do like, I like a ton of height on my hair, always at the root. So I like to do like a little topsy tail. I just kind of loosen the ponytail a little bit and then create this split. And then you just push the ponytail through like this. And then you can tighten it. Okay, so that'll give you like a really lifted half updo. Can you see that? And if you're really a stickler, you can also take just the tiniest hair. You can do it out of the ponytail. Just like a little sliver like this, and then wrap it around the hair tie to hide it. And you can use a bobby pin. I know there's like a really clever way to hide the tail of this, but I never remember what it is. So I'm just gonna bobby pin it in. So something like that. Isn't that cute? Do you guys like that? I don't have much hair on the front of my scalp. It's hard to clip in the topper. What's the best type of topper to use? So Dawn, if you don't have much on the front, a lace front will recreate a hairline for you. So that's a great kind of topper to look into. Like the Airy Elegance or the Breeze both have lace front options. Okay, again, we just want to make sure this is loose enough to cover that. Okay, so this is all styled, and now I can just put it on. Okay. All right. I'm unpinning it. And if I'm going to do an updo like this, let me show you one more trick I like to do, is use some kind of a gripping powder, like a teasing powder, There are so many brands that sell this. You can also use dry shampoo, but this works way better. And I just put a little bit on my hair. It's going to make your hair white. It's fine because it's going to be covered up, but it makes your hair really grippy. And I just kind of rub it into my scalp. So makes your hair really grippy. Because this one has that comb right there, this doesn't grab onto your hair really well by itself. So a little bit of gripping powder in your hair, or texture powder, root lift, volumizing powder, whatever the brand calls it that you want to get. And then you just kind of wiggle that in, and now it's like stuck. It's not going anywhere. Then I can clip it in the back. And voila, I just pull out my own little hairs here in the front. If I wanted to, I could still try to like pull in some of these hairs of my own. And honestly, I would just bobby pin them underneath, but I don't even think I need to. The color match is good enough that I feel like it looks fine like that. Again, I'm trying to loosen this a little bit so that we don't see the edge of the cap. But what do you think? There's so many fun styles you can do with toppers. Like, I've never had enough bio hair. My hair is not, like, the texture of my hair is not matching the texture of the bio hair right now, or the topper hair. So I would scrunch this and make it blend a little bit better. Oh, wow, that is so super cute. I love the idea of doing it on the mannequin head. Me too. Let me tell you, I used to try to style toppers like this on my head all the time, and it was just a nightmare. And it was really hard, and you can't see, and you can't, like, it was just really hard to do. So I started figuring out ways to just do it on the mannequin head and then put my hair on after. I'm going to figure out how to hide the tail of this someday, but I'm just going to take it out now because that bobby pin was making it sit up really weird. Anyway, so fun, so cute, and a million options. You just want to make sure your hair color and texture match really well. I'd clip all my summer cute clips on the half up. Yes, you can do that too. Like, so many cute. You could sometimes, to get my half ups to stay kind of like really high, I can also do a clip underneath it. That looks a little weird. But honestly, the topsy-turvy thing works really well. You just want to, you kind of have to finagle it so that it doesn't flip up. But there we go. And again, sometimes I probably should put a little bit of that gripping powder here too, so that the clips aren't sliding. But so fun, so cute. This really is making me feel like I want to go to the beach. Too bad I'm so far from the beach. So yeah, try styling it off your head, especially for half updos. Doing a full updo is a little easier, just doing it with it on your head, and we can do that. Should we glue a topper down and do the hat look with the top knot? Should we do that? Are we ready? Last time I tried to squeeze it in at the end and I ran out of time. So this is a cute half updo though. And again, you can do this with like any of these toppers, but this one has so much hair on it that it really is great for a half updo. Something like the Airy Elegance, you're going to have a harder time doing a half updo because you're not going to have enough coverage on the bottom if you're pulling up hair into the top. So keep in mind that hollow section trick where you're leaving as much down in the back as you can. But yeah, I freaking love that style. Okay. Should we glue one on? Okay, you guys tell me, do you guys want me to glue on the Airy Elegance or the Breeze topper? Because I can do either. I have both lace fronts. So this is the Breeze, and that's the larger one. And then the Airy Elegance is the lighter weight one that I said pulls up a little easier. It's this one. This is kind of ideal for a ponytail, but you can also do it with this one. Works really well too. I do it with both all the time. If I'm going to dive, should I wear with a halo wire or with glue? Which one is more secure? Oh, thank you for bringing this up, Tracy. I totally forgot this whole topic of conversation. Can you swim in a topper? Here's my real recommendation. I mean, this is what I do personally. This is everybody's personal choice. There are heavy duty bonding glues that you can use. And if you're going to do that, that's exactly what I would do. If you're going to go underwater in a topper, I would get a lace front. I would use bonding glue, like Ghost Bond is a good brand. And I would glue the lace front really secure. You would want to take your time, make sure that it's really secure and that it's a waterproof one. And then absolutely you can swim. I would pull it back. The thing I worry about with being underwater with a topper is that the drag of the water can kind of pull on the clips, and I think it would be uncomfortable. So that's why gluing it down is going to make it the most secure. And also just pulling it back will keep it from being all over the place and making the clips in the back pull. So I would glue it down, pull it maybe into like a low ponytail or a braid even would be nice. But absolutely you can. Just also remember, depending on your budget, I would have one topper for being in the water because the chemicals, the salt in the seawater, that it all is hard on human hair. And because these are pricey, I would have like one dedicated to that. And then I would have a separate one that would be my regular wear topper. Does that make sense? Also because you'd have to constantly be restyling it and that would be a pain. So absolutely you can do it. Personally, what I do is if I'm going to go to the pool or the beach, I usually will wear my hair up, like I'm going to show you here in a minute. And then I will get in the water and I'll play around in the water. I play with my kids in the water. I just don't normally go all the way under. So for instance, my daughter's birthday, for her 7th birthday, we went to the pool and they have like a water slide. And I went down the water slide with her. I had this glued on with just regular water soluble glue. And I felt like it was fine for what I was doing. I just didn't go under the water. So I came out of the slide and I just it was shallow enough that I could stand up. And I did kind of get it wet a little bit, but I didn't like completely immerse myself. Does that make sense? There have been plenty of times where I've thought I'm not going to go underwater and then changed my mind when I got to the pool and I literally just take my topper off. And it's nice to be at that stage of this whole journey that I don't care. But I also understand that for a long time, it was very scary to do something like that. So totally up to you, but you can do it. You can. There are ways to do it. 6x6, I do call, to me, that's a medium base. It's not like a hard and fast rule. That's just kind of what I call a medium base is a 6x6. What's your recommendation for amusement parks and roller coasters? Ooh, that's a good one too. I've been on so many roller coasters with toppers, but ideally I would glue it down. Anytime you know that there's going to be really strong winds or, like water situation where you just really want to make sure your topper is really secure, gluing down a lace front, you can't beat it. It is so secure. Clips are also still very secure. I doubt your topper is going to fly off on a roller coaster. But you're going to feel the clips pulling more. It's not going to stay as secure as if it was glued down. So will the wind blow my topper front edge show? Again, I really don't think so. Especially if you're blending your hair at the front. I've been in really high winds and never had my topper look bad or show. I think you'll be fine. I went to the beach with a silk topper with bangs and a low pony. Perfect. Pelo, pelo y más. I love that. That's a perfect testimonial that it can be done. Thank you so much for sharing. Okay, let's glue this down so I can do a good full updo tutorial. And take my time because last time I was rushing and it stressed me out and it was the worst glue job I've ever done. And I do not want that to happen tonight. So I wear a lot of makeup. I'm not going to lie. And this screen makes me look airbrushed. I don't know what's going on, but I'm going to clean off my makeup right here to glue this down because you want your skin to be really clean. So I'm just using some micellar water and a cotton pad and you want your skin to be really clean. Okay. If a topper has a lace front, could you ever pull your hair straight back for a half updo? Absolutely, Beth. Yes, you can. I'll show you. Once I get it on, I'll show you what it would look like if I pulled it all the way back. So I cleaned that off. I got the makeup off. We're going to let that dry. I don't want any of my baby hairs getting in the way because we want this all slicked back. So I'm just going to kind of wet my hair a little bit just with some water. And I'm going to leave a middle part because my topper has a middle part. And because that lace is see-through, I like the part to sit on top of my scalp. That way you see through to the scalp and it gives you a little bit more of a realistic part line, I think. Do you have a topper with a band? Yes, Chinita, they do have halo wires. So the halo wires are great. And that's what it is a band that kind of helps hold it on. I think that's what you're talking about. Okay, so this is gonna kind of dry. Another trick, and I do this with wigs too, if I'm gonna wear a wig all day, I like to use a wax stick. Oh, this one has hair on it, gross. But I like to rub a little bit of wax, again, through the baby hairs. Keep them out of the way. They are so stubborn. They're just always like up in my business and won't stay back. So the wax stick really helps slick those back. But this is why I do this at the end, because once I get all this crap in my hair, I'm not going to be able to like make a topper look, I'm not going to be able to blend a topper and make it look good. Okay. Now the glue. So this is my favorite water-soluble glue. I told you there are different ones that are a little bit heavier duty, like the Ghost Bond glue that's more waterproof. This one's really not waterproof. In fact, it comes off with water, but for most occasions, this is all I use. And it doesn't leave behind a lot of residue, which some toppers or some glues do. This one comes off with water, stays clean. I just prefer it most of the time. I like to twist a cotton ball or cotton, what do they call this? Q-tip? Just got the breeze and I'm loving this. Good. Is it the lace front or the closed lace breeze? So the closed lace breeze is not going to look as good. Like you could glue it down, but it's not going to look very natural. It's the lace front that you can glue down that looks really good. So just pointing that out. So I like to twist the cotton so that it's not fluffy and getting on everything. So it's a little tighter. And then I'm just going to do a little dollop of glue. This is the Bold Hold Liquid Gold from the Hair Diagram. This is a Black woman who owns this company, genius. She knows her stuff. Okay, so I'm gonna do a little dollop of glue and I'm gonna I have a metal comb, but you can use any kind of a rat tail comb. Now, first thing I do is right in the middle, I'm gonna glue this in sections. So I'm gonna take my time on this tutorial, but I want you to know that normally if I'm not trying to teach and do this, I can usually do this in about 10 minutes, okay? So it's easier to add more glue later than get too much at first, and you don't want too much. So now I'm gonna take my lace front topper. Remember I said I cut my lace kind of jaggedy like this, and that really does help hide the lace. So I'm gonna center this and I'm gonna sit it right in front of my hairline. I don't want it to go too low because that's gonna make my forehead look much shorter, which would make me look very weird because I have a pretty high forehead. And then I'm just gonna hold this down with the comb. I haven't clipped anything in or anything. I'm just gonna glue it first right here in the middle. And I kind of like to swipe it forward and down a little bit so that that glue is getting all the way to the edge of the lace. You don't want any little frayed edges poking up. You want it all to be very stuck. And like I said, take your time. Last time I tried to hurry this and it was a nightmare. Was anybody on for the last one I did? It was the worst glue job of my life. It was kind of humiliating. So this one will be much better. Okay. Now I'm gonna take a little bit more. Not on, but I saw the replay. I apologize, you had to watch that. Okay, now I'm gonna go on the side here. And everybody's hairline is going to be a little different. You may not be able to glue all of the lace. It kind of depends on where your hair starts on the sides. But the one thing you want to do is don't pull on the lace because you'll get a puckering effect. If anyone's ever glued and had that, that's from stretching the lace. So I'm just going to kind of make it go with the natural curve of the hairline and with on my head, and then just kind of, again, swiping it kind of down and out while it dries. But you can see like it's stuck here. It's getting stuck over here. Takes a little time to dry. You can try to use a hairdryer to speed it up, but I honestly feel like it sometimes just makes the hair look really kind of frizzy and crazy. So I try not to do that. The trick is to just be patient and let it dry fully. So I will answer some questions before I pull this up so we make sure it's really dry before I mess with it. Okay, now you can see this is not puckering. You might get a little bit of the hairs kind of like stuck in the glue. That's okay, just leave it. Don't stress, we will fix that after it's completely dry. Okay, now I'm gonna do this side. The only complaint I have is they do not have a travel size of this. And one time I took it to Mexico and I was like, I think it's 4 ounces. So it's close, but I was like, well, I'm going to risk it because I don't have anything to put it in. So I just took it. I took the full bottle, and freaking girl in TSA worker in Houston, she was really young too, and she threw it out. I was so mad. I mean, it was my own fault. I knew it wasn't the right size, but I was hoping she wouldn't care. Okay. I'm kind of just holding this. Again, you really want to make sure you're following the curve. I don't know how to quite explain that, but when you're doing it, you'll know what I mean. Don't want to pull this down. Like, you want to pull it kind of up and back so that it's not getting bunched and it's sitting really flush to your skin. And again, pulling this kind of down and to the side like this while it dries. Now, one thing to note is lace and mono, you're going to have slightly visible knots. Like, that's just the trade-off. The only ones that are going to have invisible knots, the ones where the knots are complete, like you can't see anything, those are silk tops, but they're not as breathable. So there's always a trade-off. Just know that. That's why there's no perfect topper. Have you ever used the double-sided tape? I have struggled so much with it though. I think if your hairline truly is like receding to where you are gluing this quite a ways in front of your natural hairline and you're not going to get the tape in your bio hair, I think that would be easier. But I always end up getting it stuck in my bio hair and it's hard to get out. And I don't know. I don't love using tape. Also, the glue gets all the way to the edges. And so it's just, to me, it's more secure and it sits flatter and it looks more natural. But tape works, especially if you don't need it to sit super, super flush to your skin. Like if you have bangs or, I don't know, if you don't need it to go all the way to the very edge. But glue to me just works better. I know that it looks like a lot of work, you guys, and it does take practice, but I promise you it's so worth learning it, because being able to wear my hair in a top knot is something I've never been able to do. Okay, this is drying and I'm not going to mess with it. I'm just going to clip in the other clips. I'm going to answer some questions and then we will come back to this and I will fix it, because right now I know it looks bad. Trust, I know this. It's a process. But I don't want to mess with it while it's still kind of drying. So right now you can see everything is flat. You see that? There's no like, nothing's lifting, but I still just want to make sure it's just going to sit for a few minutes and dry completely. Okay. You're doing a great job. Thanks, Jana. Okay. So I've got this clipped in, at least the back clips. I'm not going to clip the front ones yet because I don't want to lift this at all. Okay. How would you take it off at the end of the day after glue? Beth, the most simple thing. I just get a wet wash rag and just like tap the edge, and that will loosen the glue, and then it'll just peel right off. Okay. All right. Any questions while we're waiting for this to dry, and then we can do the updo? Anything that we haven't gone over yet? I'm wondering if we've missed any toppers. I should have checked before I glued this on, but I think we've gone over pretty much all the main ones. Again, you could do this with the breeze topper as well, the lace front one. It's just going to have a lot more hair. This one really is ideal for updos, I think. The other thing I wanted to point out about color, we didn't get a ton of questions about that, but you don't have to have a perfect color match. And I think that this is something that's hard for people to grasp the concept, but as long as your roots match, you are usually going to be able to finagle the color. Toppers, you don't want to bleach them, so you don't want to lighten them at all, but you can have a custom color. A stylist could go in and add darker color. They could do low lights, they can tone it, they just can't bleach it. Okay. So I always tell everybody, start a little lighter than you think you need, because you can always go darker. Can you hold up the champagne glow next to mousse brown? Yeah, sure. So the one I have on is mousse brown, and this is the champagne glow brown. So it's a little ashier, I think. The highlights are not quite as yellow as the mousse brown. Does that make sense? How did you match your color? Uniwigs can help you match your color. I have so many, just all my toppers across all the brands are tons of different variations of brown and blonde. So like I said, you can get away with a range of colors, but if you are unsure, I would ask Uniwigs for some help. Okay, I'm going to go ahead. I feel like this is dried enough. So I'm going to clip in the side clips. You don't have to, but I like to. It's just a little bit more security. Now, I know it looks weird right now because everything's kind of plastered and some of the hair is stuck in the glue. I'm just going to take a fine tooth comb, and honestly, it's sort of just like scraping it free. Be careful though, you don't want to pull on the lace. You don't want to get like the teeth of the comb stuck in the lace. In fact, it's probably safer to use a comb with a little bit thicker teeth so that it doesn't get in the lace. And you can even use like a little Q-tip to clean up any extra glue. That's why though, if you use too much glue, you'll have like some white residue. And that's why it's easier to start with less and add more than if you have too much. Now, I wanted to point out, see this lace? It's not going to stick right here because this is where my hair starts. And that's okay. We're just going to, that's another reason why I have these face framing layers that are going to hide that. So I just, without pulling the topper off, I just want to make sure that the hair is coming unstuck. And if it is stuck and you can't get it unstuck, well, there we go. Like I said, you can use a little Q-tip with some water that I don't have. So look the other way for a second. Don't get it on the lace where you need the glue, but just where you have a little extra glue kind of hanging down here or where the hairs are stuck. Just that'll come off real quick. Okay. Are we seeing the vision here? Looks so much better. And it is very secure. So now we're ready to do an updo. Okay, so Beth, you were asking if you could wear your hair off your face completely, and you can. You just want to make sure that you're kind of like, if like where I showed you that lace is kind of popping up, just make sure you've got a little hair covering that. So you can absolutely just wear it completely off your face if you wanted to. If you see I have a little bit of glue in there, I would just take a little bit of water and that will like dissolve it. Okay. When you use the glue, you don't typically need the halo wire then, or are there still times when you may use both? That's a great question. I have tried using the halo wire because what's nice about the halo wire is it will hold the lace flat while it dries. So that's nice. But if you're going to pull your hair all the way up, I mean, you could use both, but if you're going to pull your hair all the way up, that halo wire, you have to hide it or else you'll see it at the nape of your neck. So the thing you can do is kind of sandwich it. What I would do is like pull a little bit of hair down, put the halo wire right here, and then pull hair up over it. And you'd have to do it along the entire bottom half of your head. You can do that though, and I've done it. I just don't think it's really necessary. I tried also gluing with the halo wire on and then trying to take the halo wire off, and that was very difficult, so I don't recommend that. So typically if I'm gonna wear my hair up, I don't use the halo wire. Okay, let's do a high ponytail because this is my favorite updo. Ready? Hold on, where's my... Oh, I put it in, I used it already, didn't I? Let me pull it out. Another thing I was going to talk about is this Burmese hair, because it's wavy and it's got some fluff and everything. You might, if you do want to smooth that out, you can absolutely do it. And my favorite product for that is the Color Wow Dream Coat Supernatural Spray. I just posted a reel about it yesterday on my Instagram. And was it yesterday that I did that? I think so. It's this. You don't want to use it every time you style it, but every few times this stuff works wonders for frizz and it really helps smooth it back out. So anyway, you'll have to watch that tutorial. That's a whole other tutorial. One of the best products you can have if you like to smooth out that Burmese texture. Okay, I'm going to do this and then I'll try to answer the last few questions. Okay, so I want to do a really high ponytail or top knot. And in order to make it high, what I do is I do like a little guide here at the top so that I can make sure I get it high enough. Because if I just pull it back, it usually ends up kind of falling and being flatter than I want. So I get a guide here at the crown so I know where I want all the hair to meet. I want it to sit about right here. Okay, that's my guide. Now I just start finger combing everything up to the guide. And we're going to fix this because like right now you're going to see like my scalp and everything. Remember I said that loose is your friend. Messy is your friend. There's also, you know, you could use hair fibers or scalp concealers to kind of fill in if your hair's really thin, but you can also just loosen it a little bit and that will do essentially the same thing. If you have more hair than me, this will not be a problem. Now, I've got it all up where I want it. Now I'm going to kind of even this out. Toppers can sometimes, especially because they have, like this one has wefting, they can kind of get like flat in certain areas and then bumpy in others. Just finger comb your hair so that it's all even, okay? Should I avoid sunscreen on my topper? Tracy, that's another great question. Yes. Mineral sunscreens are going to be your friend. Any kind of chemical sunscreen, especially like an aerosol one, if it gets on the hair, it can kind of turn it pink sometimes. But mineral sunscreens won't, and those are usually safe. That's especially an issue if you're a blonde or like gray or something. I normally don't have an issue with any sunscreen with my brown hair, but it can alter the color a little bit. So be mindful of that. And that would be for anyone's human hair too, not just your topper hair. Do you have a kit like for hairstylists to use for marketing, like a color swatch ring and marketing materials? I believe that they do, Brittany. Wigs does have a stylist program, like a wholesale program. So definitely, hopefully they'll ask you or answer you here. You're welcome, Tracy. Okay, I like to pull out I'm gonna curl these because they're a little wonky, but I like to pull out the little curtain bangs I have here in the front just because I think it hides a lot of the hairline and I like having these. I'm a millennial forever and ever. I like to pull a little bit of this out. I like to loosen this a little bit. It's funny because you know how a ponytail is supposed to be like the easiest style? Like when somebody's like, oh, I don't know what to do with my hair. I'm just going to throw it up in a ponytail. And then us topper girlies are like, oh my gosh, a ponytail is way more work than just clipping my hair on. It's just kind of funny. Okay, I'm going to take a look because I can't see the back. So see how I'm a little thin right here? I could spray, pump a little bit of fibers, or I could just loosen it. Okay, same over here. Just kind of pull on it a little bit and it's going to hide it pretty much just as well. See? Okay. That's your ponytail. See how I told you it was going to fall. I could also do the topsy tail to get it to stay higher. But what I really want to do is a top knot, because the like mom bun thing, I could never do that when my kids were little and everyone talked about how, oh, I've been wearing my mom bun all week. And I'm like, oh, I don't even know what that would look like. I don't have enough hair for that. It's been so fun to be able to do that with toppers. I'm all about this like effortless look that actually takes away more effort than it should. Okay, I'm gonna just use this big curling iron to kind of recurl these curling bangs a little bit because they were looking a little funky. A little like kinked up here. I think they look better now. Okay. There we go. Okay, top knot. Oh, thank you for answering. Yes, they do have kits for hairstylists. That's exciting. Also, if you have a hairstylist that you would like for them to get like educated through wigs, I would 100% recommend that to them. Okay, I'm going to take this and I'm going to do this cool top knot trick. You're going to put it on your hair like this. And then I put my hand through it, scoop it up. That looks way more complicated than it is, but this is how I now do top knots. Okay. A blonde one. I showed a blonde one a little earlier, so if you watch the replay, you'll be able to see that. Okay, that's my top knot. Now look, I can add my little hat. I also have a ball cap that has a hole in the top. Let me tell you, I went to the Hair Loss Sisterhood retreat a couple years ago and I did this style. Hold on, I'm going to tighten this a little. I did this style. I went out to the pool and I had my hair up like this and I had my little hat on like this. I can't tell you, everybody went nuts. They're like, oh my gosh, your hair looks so cute. That's so fun. And yeah, it keeps, I'm going to add a little clip for a little bit of height because me and my height. What's the highest heat? You could go up to like 400. I don't feel like I ever really need to. I usually keep my heat around 320. Anyway, something like this. And I have a ball cap, like I said. Sometimes I wear this with a ball cap, but it is such a cute style and so fun to wear in the summertime. So this does a couple of things. Number one, if you have thin hair, surely you've had your scalp burnt before, like sunburned. I was convinced I was going to get skin cancer on the top of my head and have like big chunks cut out because my scalp had been burned so many times. Toppers work as built-in sunscreen. So that's super nice. Another reason to wear them in the summertime, even if you didn't plan on it. I'd rather wear a topper than have to get like greasy sunscreen in my scalp. The other thing is, it just like, you just can feel, you can feel cute and effortless. Like I said, it takes a little bit of work, but like I only do this every once in a while and to me it's worth it. And being able to wear a cute hat with it, like there's just so many possibilities with toppers and in the summertime. Okay. Any questions about anything? I'm so glad I did a good glue job this time. Can you send Uniwigs pictures of your own hair to get help on which to order? I know that they help with color matching. I'm sure they can help you pick a topper as well. I'm pretty sure they can do that. If you are unfamiliar with me, I have my own website too, lacierodriguez.com, and I offer all kinds of services and help there as well. You're so welcome. I love that hat. I have the same one in white. Heidi, I can't remember where I got it. It might be Target. Isn't it? It's so fun. I have the cutest swimsuit this year, you guys, by the way. I hate swimsuit shopping, but I found the cutest one. And anyway, maybe I should do a video just showing it because it's so cute. But it's like brown with blue polka dots or black polka dots. So I feel like my hat will match it cute. All right. If you wore the same topper every day, how often would you wash? Thanks so much for answering all my questions. Yes. So when I first started wearing toppers, I did wear the same one every single day. And depending on how much hair is on the topper, I would say like 2 to 3 weeks is pretty average. Some toppers, if they're larger and they have more hair on them, you can usually go like 4 to 6 weeks. It just kind of depends on the less hair it has, the more often you'll need to wash it normally because it just gets dirty faster. The more hair it has, it usually can handle longer in between washes. Did you show the amber with bangs? I actually don't have the amber. I'm so sorry. So I don't have the amber, but I do have the breeze with some bangs cut into it. I don't know. The amber is kind of like, it's close to the size of the Airy Elegance, but it is a silk top, like a French silk top. So it's not going to be as breathable, but it is a great piece. Somebody was asking about a blonde, I think. This is the Vanilla Butter Blonde. And that's a really great, like one of their #1 blonde colors, I think. Okay. I'm trying to think if there's anything we didn't go over. I don't know. Have you guys, tell me in the comments really quickly if you own a topper or if you're brand new. And if you're going to order something tonight. Yes, this is the moose brown color. This one is, I've got a bunch of the moose brown color. This is moose brown. It's a really pretty medium dimensional brown. It's a very versatile color. We talked about color, swimming, the beach, smoothing out the Burmese hair texture if you need to. I'll tell you, I took one topper that air dries really straight and has like no frizz to it. And then my breeze topper, I took both of them to Mexico and the humidity was out of control. And my breeze topper, whoosh, because of the humidity. I actually kind of loved it. It was fun. I had like a ton of body and I did all kinds of like updos with it and it was cute. But just keep in mind, like the humidity is going to affect that Burmese hair. And if you don't want to deal with that, the Chinese hair or honestly, the Chinese hair is probably your best bet because it air dries straighter. The European hair pieces, which I didn't have any tonight to show you, I'm so sorry, but they're also going to be a little bit easier to deal with than the Burmese texture if you like something that's a little smoother, but they also have a little bit of frizz usually. Let's see. If I want to order a topper, but the color I want is not available, can I special order? Normally, yes, Becky. I think they're pretty good about doing special orders. So I would just reach out to them. I have one topper, but I'm ready for my next one or my next 6, really. It's so addicting, Beth. It's so real. I promise you, though, having multiple toppers is so clutch because, #1, it's going to save your bio hair if you're getting different toppers with different sizes and different clip placements so that you're not always clipping into the exact same spot. That is my #1 tip for avoiding damage with toppers is get a couple of different ones that are different sizes. And just like alternate between them. Also, just if you're washing one or it got dirty, then you have a backup piece. Like there's so many reasons to have multiple pieces. Sometimes I will save this one to be my updo piece so I don't have to wash it every time because to get this off, you do have to kind of wet it and get it so unstuck. And then I usually have to kind of like restyle the front. I don't want to have to do that every day. So this is kind of like my updo topper most of the time. And then I have the closed lace one for if I want to wear it down, so it's kind of nice to have options. Thank you, Lacie, for all your great tips and examples. Love all your videos. Very helpful as a newer topper wear. I did just order the second Airy closed lace at the 14-inch. Also have open lace that I'm still trying to figure out. Oh, well, I'm so glad that we worked with both of those so much tonight. They're such great pieces, and I'm so excited for you to try the closed lace one because it is going to be a little easier to deal with usually. But this one is so amazing for updos. I have 2, about to order my 3rd. Oh, yay! Which one are you going to get? Let's see, which products, sorry. This is like all over the place. I own a small 10-inch topper, going to try a bigger base maybe, the Airy Elegance closed lace, and have bangs added. I love that plan. I think you'll love having a little bit bigger base. I feel like it really makes everything better in my opinion. I think it's better to go a little bit bigger than too small. Do you have dark caramel to show? I'm sorry, I don't. That's such a beautiful color, but I don't own that one. How often do you do tutorials? I do tutorials on my own social media all the time. And then I'm usually on the Uniwigs doing these live streams every other month. So I'm sure I'll probably be back on in September, is my guess. Which one are you wearing and how much is it? This is the Airy Elegance, the lace front in Moose Brown. And it's a 16-inch. So the price will change depending on the color and the length. I love this ponytail. We're going to end here, but like, look at this. Like, never have I ever had a ponytail like this. When I was in high school, I danced on the dance team and we had to wear our hair in a bun. And my hair was always short, remember, because it was so thin. And all the girls on the team teased me because my bun was like this big, and they would go around and poke it and say like, ding dong, like it was a doorbell. So I can't tell you how much I'm like loving life, being able to have like actual ponytails and actual buns that look good. Yours is an 8x8 silk topper. I love it. I love it. Okay. Well, thank you guys so much for being on. This was so much fun. Hit up Uniwigs if you have any questions. They're usually really good to answer. They can do special orders. They can help you color match, all the things. I hope you're having an incredible summer dealing with the heat. Hopefully the humidity isn't totally terrible, but thank you so much. And I hope you enjoy your topper wearing. Thank you guys. Have a wonderful night.